And we synced up for the PvP, so the cameras are pointing at the barrel, and you clapped up here.
Right, right.
So when I'm trying to sync it up, I'm looking, and like, on mine, I'm like, yeah, right down here, and on the wide, and then you're just like, like you're a fucking salsa dancer up here. I had to use your shadow. Welcome back to the Makeshift Tavern, and this week's episode of Over a Barrel, where Ed and I talk about shit over a barrel.
And I feel like last episode was pretty low energy. We were both pretty tired, so I think we gotta bring the energy.
We gotta bring the energy, high energy,
all the way to the top.
100 hours,
100 years over a barrel.
Over a barrel. Cheers. Well, how you doing, Ed?
I'm good. It's hot, but I'm
Very
doing
warm.
good. Yeah.
I looked at the forecast. It's hitting like the low 30s, I think, today.
Yeah. Was it low 30s or like mid 30s?
Low to mid 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hot.
I think. Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. Hot.
Especially in here.
Real hot. Yeah. And that's Celsius for anyone
In America.
in America. Yeah, quite warm, and it's very warm in here. But soon it's going to be a lot more comfortable in here with all the work that.
That's right. Renovations are undergo. They're happening.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Undergo.
Underway.
Undergo is two words, but they shouldn't go together.
Underway.
Underway.
Renovations are underway. It's been a long day. Leave me alone.
It has been a long day. I mean, you've been working out here. I've been working in there. Everyone's working everywhere.
That's right. We're getting things done.
We're making shift happen.
That's right.
It's really been really good.
Yeah. It has been.
But boy, yesterday, have you ever had one of those days when as soon as you start your day, you realize this is one of those days where you just shouldn't have got out of bed?
It's called being an adult.
Yeah. I call those weekdays. Yesterday was one of the worst for me. Talk about anything that could go wrong, did go wrong. Like, I had a late night because I was working on videos and makeshift tavern stuff and all that sort of stuff. So I went to bed fairly late, probably in the morning, like maybe 4 a.m. So I slept in. I'm like, I'm gonna sleep in, wake up just after midday. I'm not gonna put in a full day. I'm gonna get everything else that I didn't get done last night, I'm gonna get done today.
It's a mistake.
Yes,
That is a mistake.
That was a mistake. So I got up, walked to the computer, turned on the computer, went to the kitchen, got myself like a drink or some food or something, and went back to the computer to sit down and start editing and work. And I was in the zone. I'm like, yep, I had the motivation. I'm like, I'm gonna get this done. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm not standing up until it's done. Looked at it, and it is stuck on the splash screen. So the first screen you see, not moving. Like normally that flashes up for like half a second, and then it goes away. Then I'm into it. I'm like, no. So I turn it off, turn it on again, same thing. Turn it off, unplug everything. I changed power boards, same thing. I Googled it. I opened up my case. I took out the RAM, basically everything that wasn't the motherboard or the CPU and the power supply.
Went to town on it.
Went to town, took everything out, cleaned everything, put it back in, reseated it, make sure everything was sitting in properly. No, still not working.
It's not good.
I messaged a friend. They're like, you just jump into the BIOS. You should be able to fix it there. Couldn't get to the BIOS. Nothing was happening. It was just getting to that screen and freezing. I'm like, good. My computer, where I do all my work,
everything
has just shat the bed.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so at this point, I'm just defeated. I'm like, screw this. So I sat down and I turned on the TV and I was like, started watching something on Netflix. And then I'm like, at this point, it's sort of mid to late afternoon, bordering on the evening. I'm like, well, I need to mow the lawns. Might as well just go out and do that.
Yep.
Screw it. So I go out, get the lawnmower, and it's an electric lawnmower with a battery. And I get it, and I'm pushing away, and I get about a quarter way through, and the fucking battery dies.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm done.
The world was against you.
It was. I'm like, anything that I tried to do, any like slight bit of progress I tried to make, just out the window.
Yeah, see, I was in a similar boat yesterday, but it wasn't trying to do like things that weren't working for me. It was my body that wasn't working for me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I finished work, got home, I was like, I'm going to film a couple of things, get ahead of myself for next week. Came out here, filmed one thing, went in, ate some dinner, crashed.
Yeah.
I was done for the day.
Done skiing.
Yeah, I charged my phone for a little bit so I could film some more stuff. Sat on the bed, and that was it.
Yeah.
Had an early night. I reckon I slept for like 9.5 hours last night.
Yeah, nice.
Which is a lot for me. Usually it's like 6-ish on average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After everything just went belly up for me, I was like, screw this, I went and had a nap.
Yeah.
It was about...
I nap now.
I napped now. You're just gonna sleep here. It would have been about 8:30 at night, and I slept until about 10:30, and I woke up, and a mate of mine, my housemate, he's just come back from overseas, and he was still asleep. He slept from like about 2-3 in the morning until about 2-3 in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Like he was just
jet lagged.
done.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he still here? Is he still alive?
Start poking him.
Yeah.
Hello.
So like we both had just as productive day as each other. Yeah, it was absolutely shocking. So
I mean, sometimes life just be like that.
It does,
you
yeah.
just move on.
yeah, so these drinks are quite nice.
Yeah.
Very
Very refreshing.
much needed.
Yeah.
I don't mind this. It's a nice drop, this one.
It is. It's a little bit on the sweet side, but I don't mind that. It's not too sweet.
Not too sweet.
I noticed something the other day because I was watching through our own podcasts because I'm vain like that.
No, it's quality control.
That's right,
Yeah.
quality control.
Yeah. Well, I watch it for like 3 hours
Yeah.
every time.
But no, I was watching through it, specifically our first podcast,
Oh yeah.
and you say something, a certain word. You say a certain word a certain way,
Oh, okay.
and it's real subtle. But I was like, huh, interesting. And I don't think you're the only person that does it. I reckon I've heard other people do it as well.
I was gonna say, this isn't like the Benedict Cumberbatch,
No,
Cumberbatch
no.
penguins.
No, not quite.
All right, what word do I apparently pronounce differently?
You put a G in the word onion.
Where do I put it?
Onion.
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 Onion. Yeah.
Yeah. I just noticed. It's not. I'm not having a dig.
Right, what is it with you and onions? It doesn't, you just hate the word and the texture. You just
I hate the way you say it.
You hate the way, yeah. You used to love onions before I started saying
Well-
onion.
Look, here's the thing, right?
Onion.
You can throw the G in. It's almost like a silent G, but not quite silent. You got like onion, because it's obviously the way the mouth moves with like the ny sound.
Yeah.
Onion. Because I think Brett does it as well.
I'm going to start pronouncing it more properly.
More
I'm like,
onion.
give me some of that onion.
And then you got that one chef that goes onion,
Onion.
onion, cut that onion.
Got that onion.
But yeah, no, I just noticed it, and it got me thinking because I remember when I was younger, like a kid, like I don't know, 10 or whatever. There was a couple of words I would say a bit differently, not incorrectly. Well, actually, one's kind of incorrect. But when you're in school, when you're kids are brutally honest. They'll call you out on anything.
Kids are assholes.
Kids are assholes.
They are just actual assholes.
But the first one was the word angry.
Yeah.
I always, when I was young, I don't know why, but I'd always emphasize the A. So it'd be like angry. Like, I'm angry.
Like, well, you had a southern twang. You're from the States.
Something like that. Yeah. So
I thought you guys say like the other A. Like you pronounced it angary.
Angry. No, but yeah, it would just be like angry.
Angry.
Yeah, really like draw that A out. But the second one was cinema. I would say it's cinema.
Cinema.
With like an ER at the end.
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen it written down. I just,
Cinema.
Yeah, I just heard it spoken and my brain was like cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema.
Cinema.
And I got called out on it. And I never forgot.
Is like, did you still have, because you came over from England very young.
Yeah.
Did you have any sort of accent or anything growing up? Like in primary school or anything?
No, I don't think so. Or maybe certain words, but because obviously my family comes from the south of England where, you know, the dialect's a little bit more proper, some would say.
It's like the south of Australia.
Yes, the posh.
Yeah.
So the accent isn't super different. Obviously my parents would have had their accent while I was growing up, but I was also going to Australian schools, watching Australian TV.
Yeah.
So I was getting a little bit of all of it. And I think a lot of it was me trying to mimic the people that I was around the most, which was friends at school, teachers at school.
I'm pretty sure that's kind of like, it has to be how it naturally happens. That's how we pick up accents and stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up more so Australian accent, but I'm sure there was a certain couple of words that had that little bit of an English twang to it.
Well, actually, one thing you said just then was the word younger. I'm like, so because that's actually got a G in it. You pronounce it right.
Okay.
But it's so like younger is kind of in my mind is close to onion.
Youngians.
Youngians. Yeah. Maybe that's where I get the G from. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I think it's a fairly common thing, the G in onion, because I swear I've heard other people do it.
Probably.
And it's so subtle, but you pick it up on.
It's just that nice feeling at the back of the throat.
Onion.
The onion.
How do you guys say onion?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Pronounce it out in the comments.
Yeah, phonetically.
With pronouncing things weird and different, I pronounce my A's normally in words like ah. Kind of
Like arsehole.
yeah, arsehole. Because it's kind of like the King's English.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, her name is San, and pronounced San. But when I met, I could not say San.
San.
And
like in Japanese, like san.
well, that's
San-san.
I'm not sure where, but she was Asian.
Oh, that doesn't help.
So I couldn't tell you exactly where, but I felt so bad because I'm like, hey San, San, how do I say your fucking name?
Like sand.
Yeah, sand.
Yeah.
But San, sand.
Yeah. Well, because that's how it's like in Japan. That's all their A's are R.
Yeah.
R. Yeah.
R.
So yeah, that would be san. Well, yeah, there is no eh sound in Japan.
Isn't speaking fun?
No. Especially when it's English that you're speaking.
The English language, I can't imagine being a non-English native speaker trying to learn English. It would have to be one of the hardest.
Yeah. Even as an English-speaking person, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, exactly
like
right.
Onions.
yeah, youngins.
You said it kind of right that time.
I said youngins.
I didn't hear the G though.
Onions?
Onion?
Onion? Let me some crispy onion.
Maybe we just, from now on, we just call them onion.
Onion?
Onion?
Like croissant?
Croissant?
Or
Onion?
croissant?
Crustant?
Croissant?
Damn.
Well,
Languages are hard.
Languages are stupidly hard because you got English, and then I like to think that Australian is its own language.
Kind
A
of.
lot of it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like lazy English.
Yeah,
a lot of people say.
100%.
But where we're from, we speak like the King's English because we're proper down here in the south. But still, it's. And I find on TikTok, you know how people have those live streams and it says, I speak 10,000 languages, challenge me.
Yep.
I always get on there and I try to get them to speak Australian. They never bite. Nah. Like, damn it, come on.
Because they just think you want them to do the accent. Not actually like give us some Australian slang and terms and words.
I want them to say,
Here we go.
I want them to translate. Me and Robbo was heading to the servo, missed it, chucked a U-banger.
Who calls it a U-banger?
You've never called it a U-banger?
It's just a Yui.
A Yui, U-banger?
U-banger.
Yeah, but you knew what I meant.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. Go on.
Someone in Scotland is like a U-banger. They're fucking sheep.
That's over the pond. That's New Zealand.
Yeah. So yeah, just things like that. Just translate that sentence for me.
You want me? Oh, you want them?
No, I know you. I want them to.
Okay, all right.
I want this person that speaks 10,000 languages to
speak Australian.
To tell me how long a smoko is.
Yeah, depends.
Yeah, it does.
So the tour down under's happening today.
Yes.
Just to really date this filming.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's happening right now.
Tour down under, for those of you that don't know, is like the Tour de France, and for those that don't know what the Tour de France is, it's a whole bunch of people in lycra riding bikes. So it's like that, but in Australia.
Yeah.
And we in the area where they do a lot of, I can't remember what leg it is. It's left and right. But yeah, this is a large chunk of the tour down under.
Yeah, they came past here. As we were doing the renovations, I heard a helicopter, so I was like, we'll have a look over the fence and saw a bunch of them go past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought
Thought about getting my sticks
down
and rocks.
Yeah. Get in!
Helicopter was crazy though, because it was like high up in the sky, way down there. Like no one was coming past. There was like a couple of the cars that come past at the front of the pack kind of thing.
Yeah.
and then the helicopter comes in, all the bike riders are coming in, and it just goes like right down next to the road, like following them along, and I was like, damn.
The propeller's just like blowing people off their bikes.
It got low. I was like, shit, and it came in fast.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Yeah.
I could hear the sirens as well.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That was fucking crazy.
When I was driving here today, I was going down the expressway, and there's this car like out in front, like kind of weaving through traffic. And it was a tour down under like chase car, like the ones that come at the back.
Yep.
And I'm like, you are so lost, dude.
You're running a bit late.
Yeah. Oh shit, the bikes are... Yeah.
Shit.
I remember when I used to live a little bit further down from here years ago, I lived on the road where they went down.
Yeah.
And from certain times in the morning to the afternoon, you couldn't leave. Like it was
packed.
driveway, and this is where they're going, and the whole thing's
shit.
closed. So they're like, if you need to leave before, and you're not coming back.
Yeah.
So,
shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
No, it reminds me, because when I take Smudge for a walk, like I'll go down the bike track, and of course you expect bikes to be going down the bike track. It's a bike track, so that doesn't really bother me, but there's a section further down where they're doing sort of renovations or construction stuff where it goes under the main road. And it's all like gravelly, there's temporary fencing up and everything, and it sort of comes down a corner and goes under, like it's a fair stretch of path that they're doing this on. And it's very clearly signed on either end, cyclists dismount. And do you think they do?
of course not.
No, they fucking don't.
No.
And I get so pissed off, because I'm walking my dog,
Yeah.
you know, I've got my headphones in or whatever, and they just come flying around the corners, and it's like, gets a bit narrow down there as well, and Smudge is a little bit like curious and wants to, you know, he sort of, and I just get so annoyed. There was one time in particular, the first time it happened, because I didn't usually walk that way, and I sort of changed up the route a bit, confused the crap out of Smudge. He was like, what? Where are we going?
There's more?
Yeah, he loved it. And yeah, anyway, I got my headphones in, walking like down the path, and then from behind me I hear like a noise, like couldn't really make it out, and I sort of turned around. As I turned around, like 8 of them, all on their bikes, they obviously called out to be like, oh, watch out. Oh, so close to kicking one of their wheels, like just boom. I was like fuming, because Smudge freaked, because they were just like, and he's like, what the fuck? And I was like, it's only on that corner where it's all shit. The rest of it I don't care. Like, ride your bikes, whatever. But that bit, I'm like, every fucking time I take him for a walk, every time.
If a cyclist like hit Smudge, they would flip. Like, he's a stonky boy.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, it bruise. He wouldn't like it, but he's like a wombat.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, that's that. Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing that annoys me about cyclists as well. Like, I'm not like one of the normal people in the cars, just like, I hate cyclists, brother. I don't care. Like, you know, they use the road, they're bike lanes for a reason. The ones that stay in them when they're not like 15 abreast, perfect.
Yeah.
I know you're there, I'm gonna take a wide berth, I'm not gonna injure anyone. But the ones that don't give a shit about lights, they piss me off.
Yeah.
Like a few times coming here, just today, you're at the pedestrian lights. That's green for cars, and a cyclist just goes across.
Yeah, every time. Like, you do get the ones, and unfortunately, it seems to be the majority of cyclists just don't care about certain rules.
Yeah.
They just, do everything right, you're fine, but they just, pedestrian crossings, when like you got the bike lane, you got like 3 of them riding side by side, and one's clearly in the road.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
For me, at least, it's more of a safety thing. Like, because if you do something stupid and you get hit by my car because you've done something stupid, I'm the one who's going to get punished.
That's right.
Because I'm the one driving. And that rule that came in a couple years ago, the meter rule.
Yeah.
Like that, like there are places and you just can't.
That's
like,
right.
Where the fuck am I supposed to go?
Well, you're supposed to just drive behind them until you can get around them, and that's.
Or the other thing is they don't stay a meter away from you. Like you're keeping a meter, and then suddenly they're swerving into you.
Oh, I've had it where you've got the bike lane, which is clearly indicated with a white line, and they're riding on the line, just one person, but they're on the line. It's like, you got like a whole lane, go in your lane. Why are you on the line?
Yeah, exactly right. The other thing too, those lines can get really slippery. I learnt this when I was riding motorcycles, which I want to do again because I miss it, but my license expired. Is that in the rain, those massive arrows on the ground and the lines are slippery as fuck.
Because it'd be like a gloss finish.
Basically, that happened to me once.
Yeah.
I was going. It was actually a manhole cover. I was going home and I was turning left down to my street,
Yeah.
and my front wheel hit one side of the manhole cover, and that was slippery as, and it slid straight to the other end and then gripped onto the road again.
Yeah, right.
Oh mate, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
It was just,
Yeah.
yeah, I was puckering. And like, I got home, like, I didn't stack it or anything. It was just like split second. I was like,
Yeah, I've had it with my car. It wasn't, I don't even think the roads, well, they might have been a bit wet. It was early in the morning and I was driving down to Murray Bridge and I was going through the hills. And it's 80 through most of the hills, like take corners slower and stuff. And I've driven through the hills countless times because Aaron's parents live up in Barker, so we're always driving up, down the same way. I know the road really well. I'm driving up just how I normally do. And I'm coming around the corner, not like zooming around, just normal sort of like a nice, comfortable speed.
Yeah.
Kangaroo.
yeah,
Yeah.
they come out of nowhere.
Kangaroo just chilling right on this bend. And so I see him and I've hit the brakes as people say that if you can't get out of the way, you just got to go for it. And you just hit him, you're going to write your car off. But it's better than swinging and crashing into a tree. But survival instincts kick in.
Exactly
and
right.
you hit the brakes and you try and get out of the way and your car will lose control.
Yep.
And that happened to me and I didn't hit the kangaroo. I sort of came around him, came back, car started going that way, back that way, trees.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, got it back the other way and I went up into a ditch. But, and it was still kind of dark in the morning, early hours of the morning. Scared the crap out of me. My car was fine. I ended up just backing up and just drove to work.
Yeah.
But I was like, shit.
I've had that before. It was actually not far from here. This is about, they've been a few years ago, about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was coming down, it was about 2 in the morning. Me and a friend were going to get Macca's. And I've never seen a kangaroo on the road. I've seen it in the paddocks, never seen it on the road. And we're just going with it. I think it's like 80 or 90 on this road. And I'm just boosting just a straight. And then out of the bushes, nowhere, just jumps.
Yep.
And I was like, and again, survival instincts kick in. And I whipped it to the right and then brought it back into the lane.
Yep.
And like flicked the tail out, flicked it back in and managed to keep it going straight. Like I knew what I was doing.
Lucky.
And lucky, like I try to keep a cool head and I had a friend that in the car that I was trying to impress.
You're like,
I was like, he's like, but I was like, I was Snoop Dogging it.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't happen to me. I was like, just turn my car back on.
Yeah, we're fine. You look around, nobody saw that. All right, sweet.
Kinda, yeah.
But
yeah, you had to sit there for a minute and just be like, no, we're all good. Just back it up, away we go.
Yeah, well, yeah. They say because I think it's actually illegal to swerve.
Yeah.
For an animal, it doesn't matter what animal it is. I'm not going to swerve, especially if it's a kangaroo. If it's a big kangaroo, because they are thick.
They are thick.
They will
They'll write your car off.
They'll write your car off.
Easy.
They'll write you off if they get into the car properly. I've heard stories of them like getting hit mid-jump and the legs going through the windshield and then just scratching.
Oh shit, because they're just panicking.
Yeah, because they're just panicking and they've got like little T-Rex arms and they don't know what to do. And so they're just
like
going nuts with their legs. And they've got claws.
Oh
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Big
so,
claws.
yeah.
Shit.
But I've got a theory about why they jump out in front of cars.
Because they just had enough.
Oh, mate.
It's time to end it.
I was just like, they're like, what am I supposed to do with these?
My missus left me.
Took the kids.
Bottle-o won't serve me
Left in the
anymore.
couch, yeah. Got kicked out of the Qantas lounge. I'm like, do you know who I am?
Anyway, go on.
So, because a lot of it happens at night, and they're not smart creatures.
No.
But imagine you're just out in the middle of the pitch black. You can't see shit, just going around, and then suddenly everything's illuminated. You're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go this way because I can see where I'm going. You don't know that it's being illuminated by like a 2-ton chunk of metal, like flying towards you.
Yeah.
It's just everything's lit up, and you're like, oh, I'm going this way now.
Cool. Yeah, I can see what's over there. Let's go that way.
Yeah. That's why I reckon they probably do it.
Kind of makes sense. Yeah.
At night time anyway. You can't know about during the day.
Early hours of the morning. Like
Yeah.
Just woken up. No, what's going on? Oh, right over there. I'll go that way. Boof. Yeah, we had one time. We were driving. I think we were in like old work van, and it was me and my old man. We were driving up through. It was the middle of the day, going to go pick up a mattress, I think, for Aaron. And yeah, we come along, and then as we're driving along the road, come around the corner, and there's a kangaroo like jumping in the same direction we're heading.
Yeah.
So we sort of slow down, and we're like, oh, what's he doing? Like trying to gauge it, and we sort of go around him. And as we come up next to him, he starts like speeding up, like he wants to race us. So the old man was driving, I was in the passenger seat. So he goes for it, and then we just hear this like poof. I'm like looking in the mirror, and I'm like, oh shit. He's just gone bang
into the side of the car.
and just gotten like taken out. And we came back the same way. He wasn't there, so I reckon he's just knocked himself out. I saw him like tumble back.
Yeah.
And he's just got up and shook it off and hopped off somewhere. But
he didn't go under the wheels or anything.
No,
He's just
I thought he might have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon he's just headbutted it.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you? Bang! Knocked himself.
Dazed himself. Yeah. He's just like, huh?
Yeah, and then just hopped off somewhere.
Yeah. It's like the video. Remember that video of that guy who like punched the kangaroo because it had his dog? And there was so much uproar on the internet from like PETA and that sort of stuff. It was like, oh, he needs to be held accountable for punching that kangaroo. It's just like,
Nah.
One, do you know how much punishment a kangaroo could take? And this was a big red.
Yeah.
They're jacked.
They're the monsters.
Yeah, just one punch. It's not all it's going to do is piss the kangaroo off. It gave him he let go of the dog and he booked it. He didn't stick around to fight it because he would have got shredded.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He goes chest caved in.
Exactly right.
Have you seen the video of I think it's another big red. He goes up to someone's window, they're filming from the inside because you can see his reflection.
Yep.
And so he's hopping up and he's just like shoving this window. I'm like, shit, he's gonna break that window. Like, that's gotta be strong glass.
Yeah.
But he's just like all puffed up and he's like pushing this window because he thinks he's pushing another kangaroo.
The kangaroo breaking into.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you got to be worried about the wildlife in Australia. It's not if you go outside, it's just they're trying to get inside.
Yeah. Drop that down your chimney.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's why we don't celebrate Christmas with our chimneys. We don't keep them open. Drop bears would come down and just ruin your life.
Fucking hell.
It's everything's trying to kill you in Australia. Yeah. The sun, the animals, some of the people.
Worst. I hate the sun.
The sun sucks.
I would take winter all year round if it meant we didn't have our like brutally hot summers.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Although I want to know what winter or summer would be like over in like Europe. You know, their summer is like our winter.
Yeah, I've experienced summer in Europe. It's not always that bad.
Oh yeah.
I've been over there, well, because my parents just went back to England recently.
Oh yeah.
And they had a miserable summer. Like it was raining. There was a couple of hot-ish days.
That sounds amazing.
Hot-ish, but then it was just raining. A bit humid.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
still
we
kinda like
spoke
warm
about
rain.
this last time. Yeah.
But no, I think the last time I went over there during summer, it was like pretty hot every day.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say pretty hot, I don't mean it's getting up into the 40s like it does here, but it was like high 20s, low 30s most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm like comfortable-ish.
Yeah.
For like hot weather.
But my old man went over to England, like 20 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was a lot longer than that. Anyway, he went over there for the Silverton Formula One race.
No, he just went over because he had enough of you.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I
get
mean,
away from Dylan.
because he's a marshal, he's a fire marshal, so
Right,
his tracks out. He's been doing it for 30 years. He does the ones in Australia, and he's gone to a couple overseas. And he was in England and hanging out with his team on whatever corner it was. And so with the F1s, you get there on the Thursday, and you get given your corner, or you get given your position beforehand, and you're there the whole entire weekend.
Right.
And so you meet your people, you become friends with them, and that sort of stuff. You have a laugh because 9 times out of 10 you're standing around watching cars just and you have to stand.
Yeah.
For like still.
I couldn't do that.
And they've got cameras everywhere, and if you sit down, your sector marshal gets a phone call. He's like, "Why is he sitting down?"
Yeah, right.
So it's pretty. So you get to if you don't have one, you kind of get a sense of humour by the end because you're delirious.
Yeah.
But he's there with his mates over there, and he takes his jacket off. And one of the Poms is just like, "Oh, must be getting hot if the Aussie's taking his coat off." It was like 25 degrees or 30 degrees or something.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
It's not because like we can handle the heat. It's because we know how to deal with the heat. Gets hot, take your fucking jacket off.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought you were going to say, if it gets hot, start drinking.
Yeah, well, that as well.
Yeah.
So we're drinking.
Well, I heard it.
I'm feeling a bit. Am I glistening? I feel
flush?
a little bit hot.
Yeah, you got a little bit of. I feel like it.
Makeup.
Makeup, yeah. Wipe. I saw, I think it was a TikTok or something, and it was that like doing the top 10 drunkest countries.
Right.
And I've seen a couple of these lists, and like they never correlate, they never line up.
No.
So someone's getting from one source, someone's getting from the other source, and one of them, Australia, wasn't even in the top 10.
Well,
that's
inaccurate then.
Yeah, this one, Australia was number 1
No, shit.
of the drunkest countries.
How do you get one list where we're number 1 and one list where we're not even in the top 10?
I have no idea.
That's so out of whack.
Well,
it's like they just disregard.
It could
Australia.
be these lists is just like the world's drunkest countries, and they took from a list of like 11 countries, and they took the top 10 or something, and Australia wasn't even in it or something.
I would say, just straight top of my head, I wouldn't necessarily say we're number 1, but I would say 1 and 2 spot would probably be like Australia and Ireland.
I can't remember. I think Ireland was actually a little bit further down the list.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all they do over there.
I think it might have, what was it? I can't remember. It was, so Australia was number 1. Number 2 might have been the USA, or that was number 3. But see, I don't know if it was going like per population, like how many drinks are consumed per population. Because if so, like Australia's like number 1, 100%. Because we've
Everyone
got,
drinks.
yeah. I think we've got this other thing. The entire population of Australia, there's a couple of states in America, just states that have more population than the entirety of Australia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so like things like California, like the
Yeah,
dense
of
ones.
course. So if you go and buy the whole country versus our whole country, it's
It's a lot different. So it'd have to be how many drinks per population.
Yeah, I
sort of
guess.
thing. So if Australia, say, if Australia was one household and America was another household, and our household consumed like 10 a day and America consumed 20 a day, but they've got 3 times the population than we do, therefore we drink more per person.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it would
That's
have
how
to
it
be.
has to be.
Yeah.
How else do you work it out?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Australians to actually drink more than every other country, just per volume, not per person. We've got less people, but we drink 5 times as much.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
It's so ingrained in our culture. Like, just, it is part of our culture.
Well, Australia has some of the best wines. Some of our biggest exports are like alcohol. We invented the goon bag.
Went down, chucked a Yui down to get to the servo, which had a bottle attached to it, so we could pick up a couple of goon bags and play Goon of Fortune.
Goon of Fortune, yeah. And then when we finished with that, I blew one up and used it as a pillow. The old ads, like back in the day, in like the 80s, I think, there were ads for cask wine, like goon bags.
Yeah.
And it like showed the family at the beach or whatever, and they've got like, mum's got the Chardonnay or something, and dad's got the Shiraz or fucking port or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it shows Uncle Tom fuck-eyed in the ocean, floating on a bunch of bags, and he blew up after he chunked them all.
Makes his own floaties.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's how good. You could do that.
I used to.
But you can't drink at the beach.
No, you can't. We cover that as well.
Yeah.
But I used to when I used
People
to.
still do.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't. Australia Day isn't a thing where we get drunk at the beach.
What are you talking about?
When I used to work in a bar in the city, I used to love working in this place. It was an amazing place. It was a shame it shut down. But I used to, when I was doing like a split shift, so I'd go in the morning, do like the lunch, whatever, and then have like a few hours off, and then I'd come back and do the dinner. Normally I was tired, and our house wine was cask wine. And so I would just grab an empty bag, blow it up, go in the back room, have a nap, and then come back, and serve. Just like deflate the thing, throw it out, because
leave no evidence.
but like some of the other workers there, I was just like, I'm going to have a nap. But one night, I caught the train into work, and then I worked past midnight and I missed the last train home.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like, oh shit. And a friend of mine has a bar in the city, so I went to his bar and I was there from like midnight until about 4.
Yep.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm done, I'm going home. I'm like, yeah, no worries. I'm like, the next train's not until like 7 or
3
something.
hours,
Yeah. What am I gonna do? And I had keys to this place because I was locking up and everything. And so if I ever worked with you and you're watching this didn't happen. But I went back, unlocked the place, walked in, locked it up, turned the alarm off, went in the back room, had a nap. I slept until like 8 in the morning, whatever, got up, turned the alarm back on, fucked off, got the train and went home.
Why not?
Yeah, I was like, it's security there, nobody's gonna break in if it was, someone's around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that was fun. I missed that place. It was such a good place.
I mean, life changes, life evolves. We move on. How'd you get these on your knuckles? Are you fighting people? What's going on?
Actually, I was fighting my PC.
Oh, yeah.
So this came from hands in. Work, you bastard! It's what we call percussive maintenance, when you hit things until they work. No, it was because I was like knuckles deep in, I managed to get scrapes across the motherboard and stuff.
Good phrasing.
Yeah.
Knuckles
deep in my PC. Yeah. So that was fun. And I think from trying to mow the lawn as well with the lawnmower, that didn't work. Just, is it on?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's on. Yeah, so no, there's no cool story behind
Actually, that reminds me with the fingers in the lawnmower thing. It doesn't exactly happen like that, but something similar happens in a movie we watched the other night, The Beekeeper. Or just Beekeeper? The Beekeeper?
I think it's The Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper. The Beekeeper.
With Jason Statham?
Yeah, Olympic diver Jason Statham.
Olympic diver Jason Statham, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was very John Wick-esque.
Yeah.
One man against everyone kind of thing.
English
just
John
killing
Wick.
machine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was enjoyable. There's a bit where some dude gets his fingers cut off without giving away too much, but it happens.
Yeah.
But we went to the Moonlight Cinema.
The good old Moonlight.
Under the Stars.
Under the Stars.
Yeah, so it was in the city. I'd never been there before. Aaron was like, let's do it for a date night. And I was like, yeah, cool,
That's in the
whatever.
Botanical Gardens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah, so they fence it all off. You got the big projector screen up. You get your little bean lounge chair things to sit on.
Yep.
And we got rained on.
Yay!
In the middle of summer.
Middle of summer.
Yeah, it was a hot day. It was changing to a cooler day the next day. Wasn't forecast for rain.
Yeah.
We looked at the forecast. No rain. So we get there. A bit early. Get some food, eating some food, having a sit down. It's still a bit light out. There's a lot of bats flying around.
Yeah, there's a lot up there.
Yeah, hundreds.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, I love it.
I was waiting to get shat on. The bats shit. They'd have to shit when they're flying
Yeah,
because they
I
hang
don't know if
upside
they're
down.
flying.
They hang upside down, so if they're
Well, they don't hang upside down when they're flying.
Yeah, no, I know, but like if they were gonna shit, it would have to be when they're flying.
I assume they're like birds and
Yeah.
they just got a cloaca. I don't think they have any sphincters, so they're just shitting when they're shitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for it. Never
In
happened.
fact, they made a movie entirely based on bat shit.
Batman.
No.
Go on.
Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah.
Guano.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're there, sit down, eating some food, getting ready for the movie, just doing our thing. And then they start playing some adverts before the movie starts. And then just a little sprinkle, felt like a couple of drips, see other people looking around like, oh shit, raining, like whatever. It passed, starts getting a bit darker. The movie started. The movie had probably been on for, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe, or like quarter of the way through the movie possibly. It hadn't been on for very long. And the rain starts coming back, dripping, like just spitting a little bit.
Yep.
Tolerable, gets heavier. And we're like, shit, I reckon about a quarter of the people got up and left.
Yeah.
And the movie, it wasn't that far in. They paid for tickets. And I was like, fuck that, I'm watching this movie.
I paid for this.
Erin's like pulling up the weather, the radar, like checking the rain. She's gone off under a tree somewhere. I've just sat there.
Yeah.
Just like
She's put up the
getting
radar.
soaked on, just like, watch this movie.
It's like she's put up the radar to see if it's raining, and you're just like, it's raining.
Yeah. She brought it over and she's like, oh, should we just leave? Everyone else is leaving. I was like, let me look at that. I was like, yeah, look, it's gonna pass. And waited maybe another 10 minutes of like decent rain, not piercing down, but like you get wet. Like,
heavy
I
droplets.
was pretty soaked.
Yeah.
And then it passed and it was pretty much gone for the rest of the movie. You just had to sit there wet.
Yeah. As long as you don't move, your underside should be dry.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh no, because it was hitting the bean chair lounge
just
thing,
absorbing.
and it wasn't fully absorbing at first, so it was kind of pulling and then absorbing.
That sort of material. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I remember,
but it was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, stay for that
Recommend?
movie. Yeah, if like don't go in with high expectations, just go in expecting an action movie with some cool fight scenes and cool like.
You don't do it for the storyline.
Nah.
It's like I've started watching, and I'm actually up to date now, all the Fast and the Furious films. Only because I saw Tokyo Drift on Netflix. I'm like, I haven't seen Tokyo Drift.
Right.
You know, I'm going to watch it.
Is that you hadn't seen Tokyo Drift?
I hadn't seen Tokyo Drift.
That was like the one because it was so different to all the others.
Yeah, exactly right. I remember the only one I didn't watch again was the first one because I remember that.
Yeah.
So I watched that, and then I watched like Too Fast and Furious, and I looked up like the order, not sequential. No, sequential. Sorry, no. Yeah, the one that they released it. Yeah, sequential, not chronological.
Yeah, chronological is where it's like where it fits in.
Yeah, so sequential, and then I watched them all, and I was saying to someone, I can't remember. I was just like, you know, if you want a movie that you just don't need to think about, it's great.
Yeah.
Just go in. It's batshit crazy. You just have fun. Like what I love so much about them is like there's a slither of plot, and then just to get to the car racing.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It's like American guy does bad at America, gets shipped off to Tokyo. You meet his father. Oh, he's going to be a crucial character. Never see him again.
Racing.
Until right at the end when he's like gives you the fucking the ultimate car.
Yeah.
It's so predictable, but it's so much fun.
See, I dropped out, I reckon, around Tokyo Drift, because that's the third one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like it.
No, that came out. I think it's the second one. I think that came out second.
No, because it was Too Fast, Too Furious.
I thought that came out after Tokyo Drift.
No, I think Tokyo Drift was third. I think it was Fast Furious, then Too Fast, Too Furious, and then Tokyo Drift, and then I kind of fell off.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think I watched maybe the fourth one, like half of the fifth one.
Chronologically, Tokyo Drift's like number 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they bring what's his name back later on, sequentially.
The white guy, Han. Yeah, Han comes
yeah.
back. So Han's back in like the third one.
Third one's Tokyo Drift.
Okay, the one that's not Tokyo Drift. So the third Fast and Furious.
What's that called? Just Fast and Furious 3? Fast and...
Is it Fast 3?
Furious?
Fast and Furious?
Trice.
I don't
They got
know.
stupid with the names.
Yeah, the names. It was Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast 5. I think it might just be Fast and Furious 3, Fast and Furious 4, or just one of them is just Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Not the Fast and the Furious.
Wasn't one of them like the Fate of the Furious?
Yeah, that's the 8th.
Yeah.
That's the 8th one. So it's like F8 of the Furious, so it's Fate. F9 is the 9th one.
And then FX.
FX is the recent one.
And that's the last one? They're not doing anymore?
No, that's part 1.
Jesus.
That's part 1. And there's actually...
And they did the spin-off.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. I haven't watched that.
Yeah.
But Fast and the Furious, or Fast X, is the first part in a 2-part thing.
Yeah.
And there's a thing where Vin Diesel, he said that the next installment, like the second half, they're going to take it back to the roots of like the first couple, where it's more about the cars.
Street racing.
Yeah. You can't.
It's
been to
too far gone.
space.
Have they?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They went to fucking space.
Jesus.
It's hilarious. Like
That's too much.
I've heard it referred to as the Evil Dead syndrome.
Okay.
So have you seen the Evil Dead trilogy?
Yeah.
So you got Evil Dead 1, which is a pure horror.
Yeah.
You got Evil Dead 2, which is leaning into the absurd.
And then Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, which is just
full.
batshit
I love Army of Darkness.
So do I.
It's so good.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like the Evil Dead syndrome. So you start off super serious, and by the end you're just doing backflips in a clown suit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, have you watched the series Ash vs Evil Dead?
I watched the first season.
So good. Was there like 3 seasons?
I think I watched the first season because it came to some streaming service I had at the time.
Stan or something?
Yeah, something like that. And
I don't know.
I think it was Stan.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
So good. Bruce Campbell was
I thought it was pretty cool.
Perfection.
I love Bruce
Even
Campbell.
the supporting characters were really good.
Yeah.
Like the way they all played off each other. great series.
And Lucy Lawless
Yeah.
was great on it.
Yeah, just the whole thing was good. It really felt like the originals, but with higher budget.
Yeah. Have
Like
you seen? Sorry to cut you off. The remake of the first film.
That came out a little while ago.
2010ish.
I think I've seen bits of it, but I didn't get it. Erin watched it. She liked it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Nah.
Bruce Campbell's
Have you
really
seen Evil Dead Rise? Rises? It's like just come out.
Is that a series or a movie?
Movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
Came out last year.
Okay.
Or like early this year.
Is it any good?
I think it was last year. Yeah, it's good. Obviously, it doesn't have Bruce Campbell in it. It's like it's kind of like a reboot. Yeah, I thought it was good. A little bit. It's not amazing, but it doesn't have to be. But yeah, it's almost sort of like a one-room film kind of thing. A lot of it takes place in the one set.
In like the cabin.
No, it's in like a apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is completely different to the original story.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's like a whole new, fresh take.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's good. Like it's violent and disturbing, and yeah, it's a good bit. There's a bit like I didn't fall in love with it. I wouldn't be waiting for a sequel or rewatching it every night or anything. But it was fun to watch for one thing. But there's a bit in the trailer that really sort of sets the tone for it, because the whole point is you've got there's a mum and her sister and then 3 kids. And then the mum is the one that gets taken. But I think it's supposed to, like, the evil's supposed to be going for one of the kids or something, because they found the Necronomicon and they're flipping through it and listening to these old records and stuff, and the whole thing. But the mum ends up getting taken by it, and there's a bit where like I think she's in the bathtub or something, and they go to check on her. And they're like, "Oh, mum," and she's like, "Mommy's with the maggots now," and like crawls out the bathtub. And I'm like, "It's pretty cool, pretty creepy." So yeah.
It's another really good bad horror film with Bruce Campbell in it, and it didn't do well, I don't think. It's very niche, kind of cult classic-y. It's called Bubba Hotep.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
I know the one. Yeah.
That is so good.
It's so good.
Because it's Bruce Campbell in a retirement home fighting mummies.
Yeah. So good.
I don't know if that's a Sam Raimi film or not.
Shit, I don't know.
If it's got Bruce Campbell in it, 9 times out of 10 it's a Sam Raimi film.
Yeah, no, I remember watching that when I was working at the video store.
Yeah.
I was like, what's this? No, because I was just watching everything at that point. Yeah, checked it out and I loved it.
Yeah.
I think I only watched it like the one time. But
I only saw it once,
left an impression.
Yeah, because he was Mork's coming. Now we're talking about Mork's coming out. He's an old retired Elvis impersonator in a retirement home fighting mummies.
Yeah, I can remember the cover of the DVD. It's like him like in the full getup. Yeah.
That's
what a stupid idea for a movie.
I know, right?
So good.
It's just they had a big thing and they're just throwing darts. It's just like, right, mummies, Elvis retirement village, let's go!
Have you seen? There's a guy. I don't know if he's on anything else, but he's on TikTok.
Does the Mad Libs?
No. He's acting kind of like he's part of like a writer team or whatever. So he'll be like, all right, let's go. Like,
no, that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah.
He kind of does like Mad Libs.
Yeah, kind of. He asks for like prompts.
Yeah.
He'd be like, give me an actor. He did it for The Beekeeper. Like, like the day after I watched The Beekeeper, I saw that and I was like, that's pretty much how that movie got written.
I can't remember his name.
Nah.
That's the thing with a lot of videos like that, is that you'll see it and you don't know if it's their account, because so many people repost.
Yeah, and you see so many videos where it's like the original video and then like some like life hacks happening down the bottom screen.
Yeah, or fucking Subway service.
Yeah, some kind of mobile app. Yeah, all the time. And the worst part is you end up watching it because you're invested. You're watching the video now, but you're also watching like, wait, what are they going to do with that rubber glove?
It's like, well, it's like, so if I paid attention, my life would be so much easier with all these hacks that are going on.
Yeah.
It's like if I need to know how to pump paint through my shoelaces.
So bad. It's all clickbait.
And there are so many YouTube channels and everything out there. They're like, we tried 100 life hacks from TikTok, and so it works. Maybe we should do that.
Oh, the life hack channel's monetized, man. They're making big bucks on that shit.
Should we try some life hacks sometime?
If ever you get your finger stuck in a bottle, just spit on it until it.
butter, blah 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 blah. Butter. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of horror films. It's kind of funny being that I like to act in horror films. I don't enjoy watching them so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want time out for a
we should time out. Yeah, so like I don't go out to see horror films. Well, I have more nowadays. Not just the ones that I've been in, but
Yeah.
I'm more open to horror films.
Yeah, okay.
I think because when I was younger, there was a horror film that absolutely fucked me up, scarred me. Like I was having nightmares, night terrors, and it was.
What was it?
It was one of the.
I need to know.
I
Tell me.
can't remember which one, but it was a Friday the 13th one.
Okay, yeah.
And I saw it at a friend's house in primary school. He just put it on, and the opening scene is like just Freddy's glove just slaughtering everyone, and it fucked me up.
Well, that wouldn't be Friday the 13th. That would be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street. I always get those two mixed up. See, I'm not a massive horror buff.
See,
Yeah,
I
Nightmare
love-
on Elm Street.
Yeah, I watched all them when I was probably way too young.
Yeah.
Because going back to the last podcast or the one before, when we were talking about like how Robin Hood was probably some kind of awakening for kids. Yeah, watching Friday Nightmare on Elm Street. No,
Now you're doing it.
You've done it to me.
Yeah, it's
Watching
contagious.
Nightmare on Elm Street because like most of the most of the horror movies from that time, like the 80s, 90s, titties in every movie.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
right.
I was at a very impressionable age, and I was like,
You take the and get it. The world wasn't like it is today.
this is like a fine line.
It was like, yeah, it's like you had to like pause it. Yeah, the old DVDs
Yeah,
or
no,
VHS.
like there's moments from specifically Nightmare on Elm Street, because Nightmare on Elm Street was my jam
Yeah.
growing up. I wasn't a little bitch, I think scared.
I was like fucking 7.
I was probably like 10,
Maybe
11,
9.
10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
maybe late childhood, going into the teens.
You're a tween.
Yeah, tween. Yeah, probably about that. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like there's scenes that stuck with me because I was like, she's naked.
She's naked.
She's naked.
She's not wearing any clothes too.
But yeah, no, it was. But like, yeah, I watched them all. I mean, just some of the later Friday nightmares. Not Fridays, both actually. Some of the later ones get real fuddly duddly. The best Nightmare on Elm Street is number 3, Dream Warriors, without a doubt.
I'll take your word for it.
The best. Yes, we should watch all the old school horror movies.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Like Child's Play, Halloween's. Well, they did the remakes of Halloween recently.
Like the old school ones,
Yeah.
like they're fine because they're camp as fuck.
yeah. Well, so's Nightmare on Elm Street. They're all.
Yeah, but this wasn't an old one. This was like one of the recent ones for the time.
Yeah, right.
Because they came out in like the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
this-
not all. There was like 6 Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Yeah, this was one of the later ones. This wasn't one of the early ones.
Right. Might have been
This-
like the last one.
When did that come out?
I don't know. But the last one was it was Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and it was super meta because it took place in the real world.
Yeah.
And I think it's the actress from the original, the first movie. It starts having these nightmares with Freddy.
Yeah.
And you got like Robert Englund is playing himself in the movie, and she's like calling him up, like, I'm having these nightmares. And the Freddy's trying to like get her child or
Yeah,
something.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's super meta. Like
Yeah.
it's all in real world, but it's happening what they did when they filmed it, and
Yeah.
a little bit stupid.
I didn't
but-
think it was that one. No, I think it was before.
Yeah, okay.
It would have been. Where is it? It would have been 1998, I want to say.
Yeah, I
Whatever
don't
ones
know.
were around then, give or take.
Yeah.
Like very late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was
Fuck,
one
I'm
of
old.
them. It was one of them.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll bring it up and give you PTSD, and we'll
good.
watch
Yeah,
it, and you'll be like, ah!
I could probably watch it now. Actually, I probably couldn't watch it now.
Nah, they're fine.
I think that's why I started getting into like the creature acting. It's just
Yeah.
because like my deep-seated
Become
insecurities.
the
Yeah,
creature.
I'll become. I'm like Batman. I'll become the thing that I feared most.
I think the thing I love the most about Freddy is because, like you said, they're real campy, and Freddy was one of the funniest. Him and Chucky were two of the funniest horror movies, because Freddy was cracking puns left, right, and center, killing people. One of the best ones from the third movie. He's there's a chick that like they're all in a mental asylum or institution or whatever you want to call it, hospital,
Yeah.
mental hospital, and like they're all trying to stay awake at night. And there's one chick who's like watching TV, like wall-mounted TV, trying to keep like burning herself with cigarettes, trying to keep herself awake. And she nods off, but you don't know she's nodded off at this point. And then Freddy's head comes out the top of the TV, and it's like got these weird like arms that come out. And he grabs her, and he's like, "Welcome to prime time, bitch!" and slams her through the TV. So good. Every movie.
Yeah.
Freddy's the best.
The one-liners, they don't write them like they used to.
No.
They try. But they're terrible.
And yeah, Chucky's are all good as well. Chucky's a good one.
And then I watched. I think it's Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
When it's got Renee something. Fuck, what's her name?
It's not her.
Not. Are you sure?
Pretty sure it's not.
It's the same chick from like.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
But she like locks Chucky in like a pen and he escapes and then kills her with a toaster bath.
Yeah.
And then puts her soul into the doll.
Into the other doll. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
they have a kid in the seed of Chucky.
Yeah. I don't even fucking know. That's how camp this.
And if I remember correctly, the kid is played by Pippin. Billy Boyd
Really?
is Chucky's son. And then the funniest thing is when you get better with it, when you go to Lord of the Rings, you got Pippin, but then Chucky is Wormtongue.
Yeah, he
Brad
is too,
Dourif.
yeah.
So you got Wormtongue and Pippin, Chucky and
I love those
Chucky's
like
kid.
I love those cross little things like so if you some of the ones I liked was like the Avengers and DC.
Yeah.
So you got I was gonna say Batfleck and Ben Affleck.
Right.
You know the guy. Batman from Justice League.
Onion.
Onion.
Go on.
Young. Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Who plays Batman, and Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye. They were in a film called The Town,
Yeah.
I think,
Yep.
and it's such a great film. But I love like looking at it, just like it's Hawkeye and Batman like robbing banks,
Yeah.
and then you've got like I can't even think of it. I had one and it's gone. Never mind. But
There's a lot.
those little
There's a lot.
crossover things. You make your own universe out of it.
Yeah,
all,
yeah. Well, that's how conspiracy theories start, where you're like, oh, they're all connected because this happens, and they mention something. The best one I've seen or read about was the movie Snowpiercer being a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Or like the original like Willy
Was
Wonka.
I talking
and the
about this
Chocolate-
recently?
Maybe.
No, I think I was talking to someone else, and they said exactly the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's so when you dive deep into it, which I don't think we got time for now, but
No.
when you dive deep into it, there's a lot of weird connections and similarities. It doesn't line up 100%, but it's like creepily close.
Next episode, we'll deep dive
deep
into
dive,
these theories.
We'll
'cause
we'll come with notes.
I've got a really good one as well that I heard, and it's Billy Madison, Con Air, and The Big Lebowski are all in the same universe.
Ooh, see, I thought you were just going for like the Sandlerverse, because
No.
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
But yeah, those three, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get into
Yeah,
that
we'll bring
later.
notes. We'll bring notes. Next podcast, next Over a Barrel will be movie universe conspiracies.
Yeah, I reckon we can
Yeah.
definitely make a full episode out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All
Cool.
right. Well, I'll come with the notes on the Snowpiercer stuff.
I'll come with notes with the
The Con Air, Big Lebowski.
Con Air, Big Lebowski, Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
all because
Billy
of one
Madison.
character, and when you
right.
hear it, it makes so much more
Yeah,
sense.
okay.
Yeah.
And then if you got anything else, come with something else. We'll just boom. We'll go.
We'll bring a few. We'll
Yeah.
do some research between now and then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's the end of the podcast.
I think so. Well, thank you all for joining us again for Over a Barrel, our podcast.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
It was really good.
Lots of good flow, good rambling.
Yeah. Better energy than it was last week.
That's right. Got to keep
Yeah.
that energy up.
Indeed. And with that, we'll bid you a good day, a good night, a good morning, or a good time zone.
Yeah, wherever you are in the world, because time zones are weird.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.